Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all about that peace warrant that I was telling y'all about that was put on me in Celina, Ohio. Peace Bond, peace warrant. Now I met my wife here in Galveston. Okay, her sister and her sister's husband. See, my wife and all them, they're from Celina, Ohio. And her sister and her sister's husband had moved from Celina to here to Galveston, and my wife had come to Galveston and was spending the summer with her sister when she was 17. That's how I met her. So, after I met her a few months later, whatnot, after the summer, she went back to Ohio. Now, the day she actually went back to Ohio, I didn't get to go see her because I was actually in jail that morning here in Galveston for beating up my brother, but that's another story. Anyway, Lester Martin here and his brother and them, I had issues with them too. Her sister lived right a couple houses down, and I'm not going to get into it. Lester's dead, but he ended up going to prison for molesting children. At any rate, I digress. I went on ahead. I moved to Celina, Ohio. I got with my wife, and we'd been together there for probably about 8 months, a year or so, when Lester Martin and my wife's sister moved back to Celina. Okay, now here in Galveston, like I said, his brother, for sure, I did beat him up out there in the street one day, but both of them, like Lester came out and pulled a samurai sword on me, or a BB gun or something. One day, one of them pulled a BB gun, one of them pulled a samurai sword. Listen, first of all, with the samurai sword, I came with muriatic acid. I said, man, don't you know, throw this all over you, you ain't gonna like it. With the BB gun, I came with a pistol. What are you, stupid? Okay, well, I'll shoot your eye out with it, he said. So, I'll kill you with this one. How about that? But nonetheless, they moved to Celina about 8 months, a year after me and my wife had moved in together there, February 7th, 1987. We're fixing to be 36 years. But anyway, him and my wife's sister moved back to Ohio, and the first thing that punk did was went to the freaking courthouse to the judge, told the judge I threatened to beat his ass, catch him and his family walking down the street with my axe handle, beat the crap out of all of them, kill them all, cause him fear. So the sheriff showed up at my house there, bam, 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 bam. And I came to the door in just my shorts, just underwear, pretty much shorts. And there was the sheriff, so I opened the door. I said, what the hell's going on? He said, well, you ever heard of Lester Martin? I said, yeah, I know that prick. He said, yeah, well, he filed a peace warrant on you this morning, which at the same time, it's also a bench warrant. At this point in time, you are under arrest. I have to take you in front of the judge. He said, now, at this point in time, you are under arrest. So you can go anywhere you want to put on some clothes, but anywhere you go in this house, I have to follow you because you are under arrest. I said, no, so you can take me like we are right now. I went in just my shorts, and my wife was asking me about that. When was the time they took you to jail in just your shorts? And then they walked you across the street to the courthouse in your orange jumpsuit. See, I had to spend the night in jail, put on this orange jumpsuit and all that good stuff. Y'all know what they do. And then I had to walk across the street to the courthouse all cuffed up, because that's how they did it. And I had to see the judge, and the judge said, okay, I'm going to put you under a $500 non-secured peace warrant, peace bond. He said, now, that means if you go punch that boy, you go beat him up. I'm going to charge you $500 for doing it. He said, if you ain't got $500, I'm going to take your car. I said, okay, yes, sir, Your Honor. That went on for several months, and then that was dismissed. And then that thing at Hardy's where he got punched in his mouth, sent him to the hospital. That night I sent him to the hospital. Let me tell you something. The next day I had this chain, a log chain that belonged to him. That was his dad's, and it's the only thing he had left of his dad. So the next day after I punched him in the mouth, I took him his chain back, and he was messed up pretty good. He didn't have to stay in the hospital. They just kind of sewed him up real good. He was hurt. I didn't know I hit him that hard, but like I said, I was drunk and he asked for it, so it is what it is. But that was the peace bond right there, so that's the peace bond.